So in a minute, we're going to have Cornbread up here. For those of you that don't know Cornbread's history, I'll tell you a little bit, I'll tell you a lot more. I myself am graffiti artist. I started writing in the 1990s, writing graffiti. Cornbread is the pioneer of graffiti art as we know it, not only in America, but around the world. The culture would not be here if not for him and his peers at the time. He was just starting out graffiti writing in the 1960s. It's an honor for me to be sitting here next to him, and thank you for coming to Cleveland to be with us tonight as well. So I'm just going to throw questions at you tonight. Feel free, to jump around through them as you please, as little or as much as you like, and we'll just have some fun with this. So my first question to you is about your name. So every graffiti artist has a story behind their name that they write, their name that they tag. Can you tell us a little bit about yours and how you got your name?
I was raised in a God-fearing family background, and my grandparents were two of the most religious fanatics that I've known. And we went to church sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. And I listened to everything, listened to the sermons, I took it everything. And I was bored pretty hard. And what I like most about the church is when somebody from the church came to our house and drove us to church. No, that's not what I like. I like the most when we didn't realize I walked to church. I got to see the neighborhoods because we were like close to it and secluded environment. My parents just kept us close together in and out of church. So when we walked to church, I got to walk by the bars and see guys in the corners. I got to see guys on the corner with crosses in their ears, smoking cigarettes, toothpicks. And I was enamored to it. I got to see the streets. And I was attracted to the streets. I walk on the cars and see the girls, go-go dancers, guys shining shoes, guys on the corner sitting, do-wop, crosses in their hair. I thought that was hot stuff. And I didn't like being in church a lot. So I started hanging out with the troublemakers, the bad guys who got in trouble a lot. We were robbing stores, robbing homes. It was crazy. We was into a lot of stuff. And I was getting locked up in curfew. I stayed in trouble a lot. I would get locked up when I was in the store. My parents would get me out. 2 days later, I'm locked up again, robbing another store. I had other charges by me being a church boy. I didn't know any, I didn't put it on the street. I didn't know the consequences. I kept getting these charges. I didn't think anything of it. So I go in front of the judge, and I got all these serious charges, but I don't know the validity of what I got myself involved with. And the judge gave me an indefinite term. I said, well, what does indefinite mean? He said, son, there's no telling when you're coming home. You gotta get yourself together. My mom started crying, and I started acting tough, like I can handle this, I goes to a youth development center, and the youth development was a festival of gang members, or gangs from all over the city was there. And I never represented a gang. And I was on C unit, and C unit was the youngest unit there, and we used to go to cafeteria. Sometimes we'd be last, and several times we got to cafeteria, we go to the buffet line, you got to go to shoot, you get 2 slices of bread, you go sit down. And a lot of times when I got 2 slices of bread, it wasn't necessarily fresh. Just sitting there all day while I was with the last ones, we kind of stale. After 3 or 4 times of that, with my defiant disorder, I went to the back of the kitchen and asked who's the person in charge. They said, Mr. Swanson in charge. His office right there. I went and knocked on the door. He hollers from the other side, come in. I come in, what can I do for you? I said, Mr. Swanson, my grandma made the best cornbread in the world. And I was wondering, would you consider making some cornbread for us, possibly for the probation period, the trial period. The first thing he said to me was, who gave you permission to come into my kitchen? I said, nobody. He said, I'm a busy person. I have time for busy conversations about some cornbread crap. Take a walk. Get out of my kitchen. Get moving. I said, come on, Mr. Swan, what's wrong? He said, man, if you don't get out of my kitchen, there's going to be something. Get out of my kitchen. I left. 2 days later, I come back to the kitchen again. Mr. Swanson came to talk. He said, man, you really getting on my nerves. You come in my kitchen again, I'll bring my foot up in your ass. Get out of my kitchen. Don't come back here again. I left. 2 days later, I come to his kitchen again. kitchen when we see them coming. Hey, Mr. Swanson, your boy here. My boy. He want cornbread. I said, come here, man. Oh, I said, Mr. Swanson, I'm not trying to get you. He said, can we just talk? He said, let's go. He started manhandling, picking up the fork, and taking it to the cafeteria, everybody sitting there eating their meals. And my unit counselor, he hollers up to him, Mr. Love. Got all ripped up. Everybody turned around and said, what's going on? Mr. Love, keep this cornbread out of my kitchen and put me on the floor. Everybody started teasing me and they gave me some cornbread, cornbread this, cornbread that. But see, while I was there, my sister Alma used to send me a lot of poetry books. I used to read, write poetry. And my brother Lorenzo, he used a lot of girlfriends, and they used to exchange love letters. And I used to intercede the letters. And I used to read the love letters, and I was marveled about the communication. So when I got to YDC, the gang members would get love letters from the girlfriends. And they'd be going on like, she didn't say nothing right. That's what I said, what you got? Yeah, I don't know what she did. You talking to? Let me read it. I read it to him. I said, let me answer the letter for you. Oh, tell me what you got. So I started writing my poetic love letters for him, and I read it to him first. Because of it, oh, boy, that sounds good. Can I copy that? I said, I want 2 canned sodas, 2 bags of chips, 2 candy bars. So I would write letters for all the gang members. So I saw the gang member names on the walls. I would write cornbread next to their name. But I established rapport with these guys. I write letters for these guys. We tight like that because I wrote my name next to theirs. And nothing ever said about it. So every gang member I seen, I wrote my name next to theirs. All over the jail. When he came in, all you seen was cornbread. Almost went out of his face. So I started writing in the cafeteria, in the gym, in the church, commissary, the visiting room. I really bombed our YDC to the point where the administration came to me and said, you made a mess. I said, the gang members made a mess too. What are you talking to me about? Well, look at the mess you and not put you in the video. We got to clean this up. They was talking to me real loud in front of the gang members. It's kind of made it kind of small. They said, well, I'm not cleaning enough of them. If you don't clean it, I'm going to put your butt in the hole. I'm like this. Put me in the hole. Put me in the hole. Put me in the hole. Bread. But I didn't buy. If I wouldn't fight nobody, I took the money with the wrongs. I refused to clean it. I stayed in the hole for 48 hours. So the guy who was bringing my meals, I told him, when you bring my meal, bring me a marker. Brought me a marker. I bounce out the hole. So when it comes to the hole, what's wrong with you, man? It's time for you to leave. And I went, I just went back to writing my name. I got me in the hole in the first place. I kept writing my name over the facility. They said, you got a problem. There's been a recommendation. I see the psychiatrist. I go see the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist is Christian and what prompted me to deface this institution. He said, you got a problem? I said, no, I got a problem. Why you writing cornbread all over the place? It's like a person got a mental deficit. What's wrong, cornbread? I said, you ain't seen shit yet. What's that supposed to mean? I said, when I get out of here, I'm going to set the world on fire, and you're going to read about me. You're talking nonsense. Here's your pants. Go back to you, and I'm going to talk to you no more. So I came home in 1967. Why do you see that? It was the artist inside of me who craved to be recognized, and I defaced YDC the way I did. And by me writing the poetry, I was always up in the social worker space. The teachers, the counselors was reciting my poetry, talking my stuff. And they looked at me kind of different because I was always positive, good poetry, good conversation, and a good side. They always showed up. I wasn't like, I never represented a gang and not have a gang attitude. So when I came home, I started writing cornbread, every bus route throughout the city, this way, that way, this way, that way, underground subways, elevated trains. I just bombed out, flow up. They started talking about me, and what I wanted them to talk about me. I got a job at Nabisco to make Oreo cookies, and I went to work one day. I always buy the newspapers while I ride. I ride the newspaper, I ride the bus to read the newspapers, and on the front page it read, cornbread is shot to death. Starting on page 3. Oh, nigga, I'm on the corner that's up and popping. I took the stage page 3. Hello? Hello? Hello?
You good?
Good? Testing. We good. I still got page 3.
You like me to have something.
Hello?
You like
I go to
to stay
page
in that
3.
position.
I turned to page 3, and this is what I read. The fantastic career of Philadelphia best-known graffiti artist came to a following Sunday outside a hotel bar. Cornbread, the graffiti legend, apparently never found to recognition and started talking about the things that I did. Here I'm on this bus reading about my own death. That became a prescription for disaster. All the writing I'd done was going to this guy got killed, going to his grave. His name was what? Cornelius. They got it mixed up. Corn laying in the street was brains blew out. People walking by. Somebody shot Corn, or Corn is dead, or Corn is gone. So the media automatically assumed that the corn for Cornelius was the corn tree for Cornbread, and ironically announced my demise on the front page newspapers. I'm reading this article. I guess off the bus. I call my job. Go to the phone book, I call my job. Hi, this is Darryl McCray. I won't be in today. Call me out. I call the newspapers. I said, you gotta get your article right. Article right? What are you talking about? I said, I'm Cornbread and I'm not dead. Oh, come on, man. Let Cornbread rest in peace. But Cornbread is gone. We don't need no imposters, man. Let Cornbread rest in peace. Hang up on me. I called him back. I said, man, you better get your article right. I'm Cornbread and I'm not dead. I will tear this town up. Better get your article right. You need to find something else better to do. You're wasting my time. Hung up with me again. Now, all this right now doing what's going to this guy's grave. Nobody comes back from the dead. I knew that I had to do something to bring myself to life before they put him in the ground. I had pondered countless possibilities. I started writing the real Cornbread is not dead. But I was in 3 newspapers, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Philadelphia Daily News, and the Philadelphia Bulletin. All of them covered my death. And I started writing the real Cornbread is not dead. Didn't have no impact in the general public. And I'm just going to let this boy go to my grave. I'm going to go with my reputation. Now, I came to the conclusion, the only way I can make the media correct their mistake is if I brought them to me. What I started to do? Go to the zoo and bomb out the whole zoo. I go to the zoo, and it was real crowded that day. A lot of kids running around, people pushing their carriages, and it was real crowded. And I know it would be my best interest to try anything before I got locked up. So I decided to come back either when the zoo opened, before they opened, or after they closed. So I'm on my way out, and I seen all these people moneying around this pit, looking down. So what are they looking at? I walks over there, and they're taking pictures of this guy down in the pit, holding an elephant trunk in his hands. Taking pictures of the elephant tongue on his ears. He's rubbing his body against the elephant torso, taking pictures. He's grandstanding for the audience with this elephant. So a lady says to him, aren't you afraid the elephant's going to hurt you? He said, no, man, the elephant came from a circus. He's harmless. He's not going to hurt nobody. That's all I need to hear. So I left. And I came back the next day with a bag of peanuts. Command in the bag and I put this elephant peanuts. Hey, big guy, how long you been here? He looking at me, eating my peanuts. We looking at each other, he eating my peanuts. I'm looking at him. I'm pulling peanuts. I come back the next day. I found some more peanuts. They treat you good, big guy. They treat you good. He eating my peanuts. We looking at each other. I left. I came back the next morning, about 6:30, 7:15. Crack it down. The zoo wasn't even open. Well, I thought it wasn't open. I go to the zoo, came in the back, came down the fence, came to the porch, and was like, hop into the pit, took the spring off, and turns around, looks at me, and knows exactly who I am. I walks into him. Cornbread lives. Right on my other side. Cornbread lives. I was felt complex because I went through 2-3 days to do this for something that took me less than 60 seconds to do. I come out the pit, the whole zoo was at my disposal. I just bombed out the whole zoo. I went in the men's bathroom, the women's bathroom, the water stands, the concession stands, the picnic tables, the trees. I did other houses and the houses of animals. I would even palm the zoo out. Somebody was in that zoo, the zoo I was doing, and called the cops. Now, if I came in that pit and went to the exit, I would have got away. I came out the pit and started running up the zoo. By the time I got to the exit, all these cops pulled up. I got ready to run. One of my friends remember back in the zoo, he said, don't run, don't run. I'm caught. I ain't nowhere to go. Put your hands up in the air. Put my hands up in the air, turn around, put me in custody, took me to the police station. I'm up half that night because all the windows were open. I'm tired. I'm in on the bed. Maybe 1 minute, maybe 75 minutes. Cops come into the hotel and said, which one of y'all was Cornbread? I said, officer, what's up? Give me a autograph, kid. This is all day long. I love to read about myself in the newspaper. I read the article. I said, oh, it's on. All I wanted to do is write on something that the media were print about. Georgie Woods was a radio DJ on the radio, and he announced that the Jackson 5 was coming to come to downtown to do a battle against the 5 stair steps. Anybody know about the 5 stair steps? Wow. 5 Sisters was another group, just like the Jackson 5. And if you want an autograph, you can come to the airport, I come to the torment, take pictures, autograph, meet and greet, sign autographs. But that wasn't the case. They just promote national publicity stuff to get people to come to the show. So I goes down there, must have been about 50, 60 people down there. On the speaker right here. I didn't go down there to see the Jackson 5. I went down there right on the aircraft. Once I knew on the aircraft, I could be in the newspapers again. All I want to do is be in the newspapers. So we waited about 10 minutes, the plane comes in, and idles about 15 minutes. The steps went down. Michael Jackson at the top of the stairwell. Kiss everybody. Everybody went ballistic, screaming a holler, total chaos. Michael, Tito, Marlo, Jackie, Jermaine came down the steps, whooping, hollering, screaming, total chaos. Everything was just messed up. It was just crazy. I said, up the steps, hold to the rail, and write my name on them, Jack. And then Mr. Confusion come down the steps, go inside the tunnel, and waited till this plane took off. When this plane took off, I had a mental orgasm. I knew that nobody could repeat what I did. Nobody could write on elephant and get away with it. Nobody on the jet and get away with it. All I wanted to do was read about myself in the newspapers. So now, I'm really on the pop, but I got people talking about me tonight. They talk about Jesus. I'm all over the newspapers, magazines, editorials, comic strips. Every graffiti artist in Philadelphia knew about the notoriety that was through the media, and everybody wanted to receive the same thing. Graffiti writers kept the cracks in the walls by the tens of thousands. Graffiti in Philadelphia went on unchecked for 17 years, became the graffiti capital of the world. All I wanted to do is read about myself in the newspaper. I never told any of my friends how you make the newspapers, but you have to be in bed with the media for them to write about you. So now I want to write my name on some cop cars and some paddy wagons. Now, I know that if I went to the police station, I could probably get beat up, or you get hurt, and get locked up. So I had to bring the police to me. So I'm in high-rise projects. And my buddy's Kelly. Kelly's on Jersey drug addict. I give Kelly $20. What's this for, bread? I said, I got a blank gun. I said, I've got a blank gun with blank cartridges. I'm going to call the cops. When the cops come, I want you to shoot at them. I'm not doing that, bread. I'm not shooting at them. I'm not shooting at no damn cops. I'm going to be crazy. I said, Kelly, you're not going to hurt nobody. You got blank guns, the blank pellets. You're going to shoot guns. You're going to shoot at them. Why should I do that, bread? Because when they shoot at the cops, and they come in the building and find out where the shots are coming from, they're going to get their vehicles unattended. My mom was just out there cop cars in the paddy wagon. Go get him, bread. Go get him. So I went downstairs. I called the cops. I said, y'all better get some pieces off with the cages. Just beat this guy half to death. You have a homicide on your hands, man. Better get some cops up here. 2 cops car shows up. That's not enough. So cop cars come up, Kelly start pow, pow, pow. They looking, he reloads, pow, 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 pow. Well, I think he been shot at. He's a backup. More cops start showing Kelly got happy, pow, 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 pow. They come into the building. I also told Kelly, when they come into the building, go downstairs to your apartment. Just leave. When you come in the building, leave. So they came in the building, I bombed up about 8 or 9 cop car paddy wagons, cop cars and paddy wagons. They come up to where the shots came from. They saw these big pellets on the floor. I said, what's this crap about? Well, when they got back outside and seen all the vehicles all marked in the cornbread on them, they put it together. They did not publicize that. I was hurting for certain. Was I wanted to read about myself in the newspapers. And they didn't publicize that because they didn't want other teenagers defacing police vehicles. I was so upset. They didn't publicize it. So I don't know if you got all the way from Philly. There's a building downtown called the Clothespin, 30-story office building. I'm coming from the Fox movies called the Late Night Show. And I'm coming out the movies and I walk by the show and I walk by this building that's under construction. Building under construction with concrete beams and have an elevator shaft that takes material to the top floors. I go to the end, hammer the fence, come back to the elevator shaft, go to the 30th floor. I just start writing cornbread, came the walls and massive slabs of concrete, the beams, the elevator, the floors. From one floor to another floor, I just really bombed this place out. The architects came and worked there next day. This bastard, they went off. That made the newspapers. All I wanted to do was make the newspaper. I was an editor of comic strips, headlines, magazine covers. They talked about me like I was Jesus or somebody, right? So when I came home, my mother died and my grandmom died, and that was all I had. And I really didn't have anybody, I didn't have anything. And the only thing that made me content with the world was writing cornbread everywhere. And by doing so, I didn't have to deal with the suffering and pain from losing my mother and my grandmother. And I spent all my time, every day, everywhere, every day, everywhere. I wrote cornbread. And they just talking about me, And then I got struggling on drugs. And what happened was, I got a job with Anti-Graffiti Network. Wilson Good was the first black mayor who became the the mayor of Philadelphia. And the graffiti in Philadelphia went on unchecked for 17 years. Mayors just didn't buy into it. Well, when Wilson Good came into office, it turned away city business. The city of Philadelphia was like a war zone. And a lot of people wasn't doing business with Philly because it was so bad. So he came up with the Philadelphia Anti-Graffiti Network. I had a job instructor GED classes at Glen Mills, which is another reform school for bad kids. All my jobs were with bad kids. So I had a job, the car I was driving, I couldn't depend on it. Some days I worked, sometimes I didn't work. And a lot of times I was missing from work, and a lot of times I was getting there late. So rumors started to circulate that they're going to terminate me. So rather than have them terminate me, I resigned and asked for a letter of recommendation. They gave me a letter of recommendation, and with my scrapbook, I took it to Wilson Good and told him I'd be a great asset to his program if he gave me a job. He looked at me. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "My scrapbook." I said, "This is who I am." "You cornbread?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got the job. I want you down here Tuesday, 10 o'clock for a press conference. I want everybody to know that you're working with me." I said, "I'll be here." So he gave me the job. But he appointed his wife, sister, son, who graduated from college, the director of the program. I'm not trying to be the director, I just wanted the job. So he might have been the director of the program, but I was the star of the show. So when people come in and do interviews, they want to speak to me. They came in, they were knocking at the doors, came in all this, "Which one was going?" I said, "Can we interview you?" I said, "Sure, have a seat." He come out, "What's going on?" "Oh, we're doing an interview with Cornbread. This is my office. Do you have any permission?" You can't do this, you have to leave. He was arrogant, I know that he was, okay. Gentleman to die from AIDS. We did not get along. I was with the administration about a year and a half. So one day we passed the word. She said, "Why don't you just pack your stuff and just leave, man? You're making my job hard." I said, "You making my job hard for me too. You tell me to leave. You didn't hire me. Wasn't good enough. It's like he hired you, he hired me. If they don't want you pack your leave, why don't you leave?" We just didn't hit it. So I went back to my desk and I sat down. 10 minutes later, 2 uniform cops come to the office. "Come on, Cornbread, we don't need no problems. Come on, just make it hard for us, man." He's standing like this, with one in his face. "Let's go." I looked at him and I left. I get back in the street, that money I had, I never job. I started selling drugs. And struck myself out like a research monkey. I was so doped up. I see people that I knew, I was like across the street. I mean, I was like in drugs, going back and forth to jail. My life was down. And my barber, who's to cut my hair, he's a graffiti artist, his name is Sub. I'd be sitting in the chair, and he would come in, he said, "Bread, you got to come back, man. You going back and forth to jail, doing drugs, that was crazy, out of control, man. Man, everybody talking about this country, you have no idea what's going on. You got to come back, man. Get yourself together, man." I said, "Sub, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Just cut my hair." Bread, I talked to these people, man, and they don't believe that I know you. And I told them I can bring you to the show. But you got to be sober. I want you to take a shave. I'm going to give you a haircut. You got to get some clean clothes. You got to be presentable. You got to get yourself together, man. They're going to give you some money, showing up and everything. And somebody told me, "How much? About $500. $500 is a lot of money to me at that time." I said, "I'll be there. And I'll be clean shaven. I'll be ready to go." So that day he came and picked me up. He came by in his car, hit the button, and I'll get the rocket and it's going. You ever seen the hydraulic cars? It was blending, come up the street real slow, and the kids was following the car. They got to my door. My son comes and I said, "There, the guy in the car, this crazy car outside, told me to come on." I looked out the window and said, I walked to the point. I said, "Sir, park the car, come on in. Come on, Brad, the show already started, we could be late." I said, "Park the car." I said, "Come on in." He parks the car, he comes in, "Brad, it's almost half an hour late, man." I said, "Good, let him anticipate." So he goes down South Philly. We about a half a block from the, where's that? Hit that big, and the car got the rock and the music print, got me a quarter of the t-shirt on, I pulls up, and there must have been about maybe 100 people from Europe. It was all of it. The Pose 2 got to join. Pose 2, Code 2, all these writers in the middle, they top-notch dudes. I'm drug crazy, but they recognize me. They know who I am. So they start promoting me. Featuring Cornbread. So I go to the show, I can't go, get out of the car, and these people started treating me like I was always president. So they was coming at the corner to the autograph and touch me. The guys would sign autographs. I'm like, damn. I tried to tell you, nigga, you better get yourself together, man. Get your shit right. And I went to Poe's apartment. He got all these interviews, magazines, when they interview at the same time. "Where you been?" Like, I'm just like, this is like this. So Seb said, "Man, you better go to rehab to get yourself together." That was 27 years ago. I came out of that, and things just started happening. I mean, I've been all over the world. I've been everywhere, all across Europe. I've been to Spain. I did a TV show in Madrid. I did a video in Spain. I did a mirror in Sacramento. I've been to so many places. I got a book out there for sale too. These people came and interviewed me, and I had my own font. My handwriting is now a font. I also have a strain of marijuana in my name. Right? So these guys came to my house and they was interviewing me. Actually, we're talking about the font. So I got to talk to them. Like I'm talking to y'all. And they got to listen to me. They said, "Man, we can incorporate both of you to put the article, the interview, and the font in the same book. Let's go make it happen." That was 2 years ago. That's the book right there. I got my own book. I got my own font. And the articles, they went to the newspapers. The articles I had about 60 years. It was tattered. They went straight to the archives, and all my stuff was in the computer. They brought it up and it was brand new. That book got so many articles, newspaper articles, hits, and the things I've done in that book, and my font is in that book. I was so amazed to see how clear it is. The book is for sale for $40. I got t-shirts for $40, and I need your support.
Really incredible story. Thank you so much for sharing all that history with us. Do you have time for a couple more quick questions?
Great.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, as a graffiti artist myself, I've been in several different graffiti crews over the years, and many, if not all, graffiti artists at some point are in a crew. And originally my initial question to you was going to be, have you ever been in a crew? But I looked into that, and I saw that you had actually talked about being in the social clubs back in the day, in the imagining 70s. Can you tell us a little bit about the social clubs that you were in and how those actually evolved into what was probably the first graffiti crew?
Yes. When I came home in '67, we didn't use the word graffiti. You know why? Yeah. We didn't use the word graffiti. Do you know why? No. We didn't use the word graffiti because there was none. The only graffiti you seen on the walls was by gang members who wrote their name on walls to identify their turf. We didn't use the word hip hop. You know why? There was none. I used to be a solo artist. I went out and write my name by myself. I didn't know anyone. I came home with the attention. When I found on YDC, I knew that the attention I got from YDC, I could get in the street on a bigger level. So I went out always by myself. When I came in one night, I seen Delta Phi Soul. He's a bunch of guys who has a social club on the corner of my block, busting on each other. So I walked by, listened to him. I got my laugh off. About 10 minutes of that, I walked across the street. Let this guy knew who I was. Wait, Cornbread. We like, that's you? Oh, what's up, man? I said, your name might be good. Where you from? I said, this is my neighborhood. I never seen you before. I just came home. This is my neighborhood where I came from. So one of the guys said, can I write my name? I said, sure. He wrote Titty Delta. The Delta Phi Soul. I said, what does that mean? That means Delta Phi Soul. I said, what's that? I said, street fraternity club. And I said, what do y'all do? We have social parties. We have bus excursions. We do things for the little guys in the neighborhood, basketball teams. We do a lot of positive stuff. That's what we do. We have fun with girls. We want to party in Atlanta City. We do all types of things. But join us. That's something I'd like to join. I joined Delta Phi Soul. I turned Delta Phi Soul to all artists. They were all graffiti artists. So, Delta Phi Soul it was a street fraternity club, but the whole fell up. Hello? We're good. But the whole shit, the teenagers in Philadelphia underwent a unique experience unlike any other city. Hello? We good. The teenagers in Philadelphia underwent a unique experience unlike any other city in America. We talk about close to maybe 100,000 teenagers involved themselves in a social uprise. And we adopted college fraternity names to identify ourselves. So like we got colleges, got different fraternity names. That's what we did when we were on the street. But none of us in the college. We just adopted their names. And we used to battle each other. At that time, we used to dress up. We get dressed. We got paid awards and certificates for the best dressed individual, the best dance. I mean, that was a culture within a culture. And I annual conventions in Atlanta City at an event called Omega by the Sea. Omega by the Sea was found by real college students. I mean, these guys are like want to be presidents, congressmen, lawyers. They were real college students, and we followed behind them. But they didn't want us following behind them because we came from the street. When we got to Atlanta City, we was robbing rooms, robbing hotels, and taking stuff and stealing. They distanced themselves from us. You know what that to the people around us. They distanced themselves from us. Well, we started telling all our friends, come on down to Atlanta City. This was happening. So we started coming to Atlanta City. This is before the casinos was built. And every hotel down there, we consumed. Every hotel had a ballroom. Every ballroom, there was a dance battle. We was rapping, we was dancing, we was stepping, we was DJing. All of that in New York, hip hop happened in Philly first. But by graffiti, overlooked everything because the writers just writing on people's homes, churches, cars, businesses. It didn't fly right when it first started out. It was really, really ugly, right? The artists was overlooked because things I was doing, we didn't choose to pay the attention to the artists, you know. When that culture migrated to New York had a pipeline from Vietnam to New York. I'm sure everybody watched American Gangster, right? Denzel Washington. American Gangster tells you what happened to New York at that time. It was in the mid-60s. That 100% pure heroin was so damn good. They were dropping like flies in the street all over New York. There was no hip-hop in the street. They didn't use the word hip-hop, but there was a hip-hop function in Philly. But it was overlooked by graffiti because it was so ugly. When it migrated to New York, those people who fund the drugs, they couldn't do it anymore. They couldn't spend their money because they got the money from. But you had bankers, investors, and drug dealers investing their money into the hip hop culture. That's where LL Cool J, all those all-stars, they like all those all-star hip hop legends. All of them came from that money that was invested in New York. Philly didn't get that. None of that. We was overlooked. So I went to New York. I made a complete spectacle of myself. I said, if this is who I am, I started this shit. And I wrote on this, and I did that, and I wrote this, and I kept talking. And I don't stop it anymore. They started changing my history because we were you know, people started calling me. And those guys who were up there when I was down here in drugs, I'm up there with them now. You know? We all get together, man, and can't explain it. Can't explain it. Hip hop was born and bred in Philly. When it migrated to New York, it went to 5 or 6 levels higher. We couldn't contend with that.
So fascinating facet of the history, man. Thank you for sharing that as well. All right, so last question tonight for you. So for any of us that plan on, going to Philly anytime soon, where do we get the best cheesesteak?
Well, I would say Pat's is good. I go to Pat's a lot. Pat's.
All right, so everybody go to Pat's when you're in Philly. All right, well, Cornbread, thank you so much, man. We love hearing the stories.
I need your support. I got some t-shirts over here.
Yeah, check out his t-shirts. He's got his book.
I got a book.
Really cool stuff. T-shirts have the elephant from the story he told. He's got the plane over there as well, so give it a look.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of the night, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Sure.
I'm gonna get the best stuff for her.